series, The Clearing, is like imaginary car wreck. Think about it. When you go ahead and actually coming up on a car wreck in a massive traffic jam, you are swearing at the people in front of you, like, go faster. What is everybody waiting on? And as you continue to go on, you're just sitting up there thinking about it can't be that bad. And even if you had a little bit of curiosity, you're thinking like, dude, when I get up there, I'm going on through. Then you get up to the spot, and oh my God, it's so much bigger and more of a spectacle than you thought. And sometimes you don't even want to know all the details, but you do kind of feel like, was there any survivors? What happened there? Because it was so spectacular, you just have that thought process. You are just like, I gotta know what actually happened. And you go and actually go check the internet just to see what happened. That's what this series is, a magnificent car wreck that you cannot look away from. In shows that are mystery dramas, I'm usually down for them. But this series comes with its own set of trigger warnings like child abuse, PTSD, and psychological torture. When you include those types of precursors, I'm usually out. I really don't want to mess with them. I'm going into this review as a casual viewer because there's no way I would have been intrigued to start this series. But I'll try to get inside the head of main target audiences as well. You see, watching the first 2 episodes of new content on streaming services is my thing. I get into watching those first 2 episodes just to see if it's worth your time. So hopefully you find that intriguing, informative, and entertaining along the way. If you do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now, on with the review. The Clearing is a mystery thriller that premiered on Hulu in May of 2023. It contains 8 episodes, each about 50 minutes long. It stars Teresa Palmer as Freya Hayward, Guy Pearce as Dr. Bryce Latham, and Miranda Otto as Adrian. It's a story that is based on the novel In the Clearing by J.P. Palmieri, which in and of itself draws inspiration from the real-life Australian cult, The Family. So very many layers deep, different IP, all the same concept, maybe just a little bit of delineation between all of them. Here's the story. A woman, Freya, is forced to confront the nightmares of her past in order to stop a secret cult intent on gathering children to fulfill its master plan. Now, for me, a story like this is top-notch for main audiences because it has a deep dive into the lure of a cult. It has to show the mind control and manipulation techniques that are used, and also needs to tell the story in a way that shows the depths of the brainwashing and show a gradual resistance to it for there to be a full conflict. Conversely, a casual viewer is looking for a relatable story regarding cults. Depending on the audience, they want to see some gore or violence or any type of thing on there that conveys the brutality of the story. Also, you have to give casuals someone to root for in order for the story to really hit. So, the characters are written and acted well in this series. You get 2 different timelines to follow throughout this series. The cult and the main character Freya, when she was a part of the cult back in roughly about the 80s, and her now as an older adult with a child. While I think Teresa Palmer does a good job of conveying the PTSD and everything that Freya went through as a kid, the real shine is all of the acting done in the past. The children, the adults, everyone in the past timeline gives great performances. The adults are creepy, delusional, and authoritative. The children are for the most part obedient and have complete Stockholm Syndrome, all except 2. And those 2 give great performances. Shout out to Julia Savage playing Amy, the younger version of Freya. These were well done. Mains and casuals will be good on the acting for the characters as they're written. The story and the storytelling is good in that you know where some of the story is going by the second episode, but there's enough doubt and mystery that keeps you guessing throughout. Some of the scenes are difficult to get through because you know there's going to be a punishment or extreme emotions coming, but you want to get through it because you get a little bit more of the puzzle as you go along. The way that this is storyboarded is brilliant from a show standpoint because you never quite know what's up. Folks looking for mysteries will be trying to put the pieces together from the start and then have to rethink it all over again by the end of episode 1 and especially after 2. Casuals that can deal with uncomfortable scenes will find the story interesting as well. Really, the only other notes that I have for this particular series is not reading or seeing anything before watching this. I thought this was going to be a supernatural story, and it's not. It's a very realistic human story, but it takes time to set up the stories. And I would go ahead and actually definitely warn both casuals and main target audiences, don't give up after the first 15 minutes. It takes a little bit. But what are my verdicts for this series? My verdict for both main and casual viewers, I'm going to say watch the first 2 episodes. I feel there's enough in the way of acting and mystery breadcrumbs along the way to warrant your time. There are some parts that drag, but most give some indicators on the next plot points to be introduced. And I think if you feel entertained by episode 1, you'll definitely want to give it the second episode to see if you're all in or not. So again, for both target audiences and casuals, give it a 2-episode watch. And that's what I have for The Clearing on Hulu. Check it out.
Did you kill her?
I appreciate you staying for the entire review. I really do. Do me a favor. Give me a like, a subscribe, share it even if you like it out there like that. Or if you want to go ahead and actually check out, see if I'm really worth your time, check out another one of these videos that YouTube seems to think that you might like. But until the next time, I'll holler at you. Take care of yourself.